This is Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. We enthuse, we energize, we inspire, and we empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes in BW and beyond. Hello and welcome to another episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. Let me welcome you. It's always a pleasure. This podcast means nothing without you. I'm going to talk about exciting subject of apparel, suits, and things like that today. I have a guest just for that, a man who is steeped in fashion, who understands these matters. And I often tell my mentees that the second or third richest man in the world is rich because of fashion. The founder of Louis Vuitton or the owner of Louis Vuitton. So you're going to love this discussion. And what we do is that we bring life-changing business education through entrepreneurs like this. The objective being to enthuse, energize, and inspire you. But a little bit of housekeeping. We've noticed that a lot of you guys, about 2/3 of you, don't actually strike the subscribe button. So let me just take a moment to ask for you to hit the subscribe button and to make sure that we stay with these algorithms and stay helpful and stay on air. Another thing that I want to mention, and a bit of housekeeping as well, is this book here, Mogobe Nuggets of Grit, or rather Momp Nuggets of Grit. It's a very, 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 from the feedback I've had anyway, it's a very useful book because we emphasize grit, and grit is one of the most important ingredients for success. And if you mention when you talk to my PA that you got the book from this podcast, we'll give you a 10% discount. Normally retails for $3.99, but you'll grab it for about $3.60, which is 10% less. So go ahead and give us a call to get the book, Nuggets of Grit. Having said all that, let me welcome my guest, the founder or co-founder of Kenos Suits, Donald Noto. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be next to you, sitting next to you.
Okay. All right. It's a good place to start in a conversation like this is a bit of background, in terms of education, academics, and that sort of thing.
Yes, sir. To tell you the truth, funny enough, my younger sister again we ended up being a doctor. Now I think school into school. But anyway, I ended up at UB, but I only did to my diploma in accounting and business studies. That's basically what I did in terms of my school. That's how I went with my schooling before I started working and doing business. Yeah.
Okay. And you got a degree in what?
It's actually a diploma in accounting and business studies.
Okay.
From the university.
And from there, what happened?
Well, from there, then I started working. I worked quite for a long time at Entrepreneurial, the Botswana Center for Human Rights. It is also another company that I worked for before then, but my last stop was Entrepreneurial. I worked there for almost 15 years. There I was doing administration mostly. So, yeah, then that's when I think during that time, that's when I got to meet my business partner, who's Tobo Kerekang, to have this Keno. This Keno is his surname, Kerekang, and my surname, Noto, Keno, hence why we have the Keno.
Oh, that's how it came about.
Yes, that's how it came about. So that's when we met, and that time I was his manager. He was an artist. If you remember very well, before he became a lawyer like you, that's where you guys met. Before he became a lawyer like you, he was an artist. So I was his manager. Then I was the stable manager for Eric Remco Records. So it was Bo Tobo, Bo Ska, Bo Mahosi, Bo Kesti, Bo Masako, all those, even Bo Machesa at that time, Bo Matsieng. Yes. I was the manager for the label. That's how we met with Tobo.
Yeah, so you became interested in managing artists. How did that happen?
Well, that time, I think is the time I was at the channel, then I got exposed to, there was a company, an NGO called Yoho, which was in a about staying out of trouble and educating them generally about HIV/AIDS and all those things. So when I was at the channel, then we got to meet them because it was an NGO like a sister NGO like us. So that's when I met this artist through the coordinator of that program. So I ended up meeting Bovi. So I started managing Bovi that time. So then that's when I ended up now being more exposed to the music industry. I had like I manage our a stable record label. I had Creamcore Records there.
So your partner was doing what genre of music?
He was hip hop. He was hip hop. They were called Mahosi. It was him and his Melo.
Okay.
It was him there. So, but first they started as backup singers or for Babega cast. And then from there they were on their own. That's how they started. So Tobo, before being a lawyer, a prominent lawyer, he was an artist. He was
doing any of that now?
Right now proceeds on it. He's busy with
other activities.
With other business and the way he works now as a legal executive. Yes.
Let's run through the businesses. I counted 4 when I checked you out, but can you just run through one by one?
Yes, sir.
Telling us what they are called and what they do.
Okay. Our first born baby Kenos custom suits. There we make suits. We manufacture suits. Like from scratch. We buy your material, then we manufacture custom made suits. We take your measurements and we make a suit for you. So you come to us. Basically, we are in phase 2. You come to us. You tell us what you want. You maybe show us a picture. Then we will show you a bit of swaps, the sampling, and choose the fabric that you like.
Both men and women.
Both men and women, yes, sir. So that you want. Then we take your measurements and the design that you want. Then you come later on, maybe a week or 2, to come and do your fitting. Then you are able to collect a suit, whether for an event, for a wedding, for a promo, anything. So we cater for everybody.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
And what else do you have?
Then we also have what we launched, I think, Nakwa COVID, it was Kenos Sense, which we launched our perfume line, and we launched Elevate. It's called Elevate, our perfume.
I wish you had a sample with you.
I mean, I could have brought it here. I think somehow it slipped my mind. But so we have that perfume that we also selling, which is now we are a lifestyle business. So we have Kenos Sense, which is a perfume line in Arona. Then on top of that, we also have Kenos Active Way, it's our sports line. We are very fortunate. Last year we are awarded under Kenos Active Way. We are awarded by BTO to be doing that merchandise. So, but when those warm jackets and it was us who manufactured that, and we design and manufacture them. So what we just get from outside the country is just the fabric. Then we design and we get into the machines to color. Everything else we cut and we put in the machines.
When we last met, you did tell me you have a gig or an activity at Kawa. How did that go?
No, it went very well. It went very well. We managed to supply the whole BTO team and Baholo, their VIP list. We managed to, and even as long as the Minister of Youth, they also ordered from us. We managed to supply them, and we also managed to also sell at Kawa to individuals. So we are happy that happened.
It
went well, and Baholo is very happy. And we did something very special. We did a special design for the president of the country, which him and Madzila are the only ones who have that design.
Wow.
So the whole design that we did for everybody else
what is it? Is it jackets or what?
It's a jacket, It's a body warm, just a jacket.
Okay.
Yeah, a very nice jacket.
Okay.
And we also did something.
I'm sure you got a lot of mileage from marketing.
Yeah, we also got him to sign the picture of the to autograph it. The one with his design. He actually did it when we were in Moshopa.
Oh.
You remember
there's an event there.
There was an
cultural event.
The cultural event.
I forgot what it's called.
Something I don't know why it's slipping my mind. But so he managed to sign it off there, and we also unfortunately couldn't attend the event. I think he was out of the country. But Res Lambert, the vice president, was there. We also designed a special one for him and the wife. So we got a good mileage on it, and they loved it.
There's also one called Gym Life.
Yes, I also have Gym Life, which is my business, my business. Okay, which I don't partner with Tobo in it. It's a fitness club, which is in phase 2. Just in the middle of phase 2, there's a pack that Debswana donated to the community there. So we using that pack to.
I've heard people use the expression gym rat.
Yes,
Are you a
yes.
gym rat? Are you
But
obsessed with
I
the
can
gym?
say that even my business partner is every morning at 5 is at gym, and I'm the one who introduced Tobo to this gym lifestyle. So I cannot survive without training. If I feel sick,
How
if
many
I have,
hours per day?
well, it's not too much. Just an hour is enough. Just an hour is enough, and not every day. I train from Monday to Thursdays. Then Fridays I rest. Then Fridays I rest. Saturday morning I'll take a young walk, jog for about 10 kilometers. Sunday I rest. Then Monday back to it again. Yeah, basically.
And can you tell people why the life of fitness is good for an entrepreneur?
Well, it's very important. Generally, I believe even if you're not an entrepreneur, it's very important that you stay fit and you exercise. You know, we have all this non-communicable diseases. But these days you find that so it's very important. I mean the best thing to do before again to get medication and everything is to exercise, so that to fight over this thing.
Yeah.
So it's very important. So imagine if you're a business person and you exercise, then it helps your mind sharp. So therefore you can execute whatever you are thinking, whether it's thinking or you have to be on the road to do something. It supports you. It helps you a lot. So it's vital.
It's just as important as diet, is it?
Thank you. They go together. You cannot separate the two. You can't go to gym and don't watch how you eat. It's very important to see what you eat. It doesn't have to be expensive, but you just need to know, okay, I can't be taking too much of this. Too much of everything is too much.
Yeah.
So you just a matter of knowing.
So do you offer that kind of
yes, sir, we do. We do. Yes, we offer that. We offer that.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, we offer that, and we also have a partnership with some dietitians in the country who are Botswana as well. We always fight to try and support our own. We are Botswana as well to say, okay, if it's something that we can't, you need special attention, then we have an agreement with them, and we go to them, and if you say I'm from Gym Life Fitness Club, therefore you get a 10% discount. So instead of paying the whole amount that everybody's charging, because you are from Gym Life, then you can get that consultation like that. Even
it's a collaboration.
It's a collaboration. We also have relationships with doctors. We have a Oral Park Clinic, which you have a doctor there in case you are not well, or basically gymming, or what the advice generally, what the checkups before you start or during. We have a relationship with them. Yes.
And is it a difficult business to run, the gym business?
Well, since now I love training, I don't even feel like it's business to me, because it's something that I love. It's just like suits, looking good. So I never feel like I'm in business. Of course, there's those times where you have to plan and get things moving, but since it's something that I love, it just flows with me. Gym and clothes, it just flows. Like I just love it. So it feels so good. Of course, business is challenging, but if it's doing something from the heart that you love doing, you just flow.
So you're doing something that you could do for free. Yeah, you love it that much.
Funny enough, even at the gym, I think we are probably the cheapest in Botswana, because it's 100 a month, and we don't charge joining fee. Clearly, you can see something that we do out of love. We're not looking too much onto, because even if when I train you, I'm also working out. So it's a great thing. It's something that you just do impulsively because you love it. Yes, sir.
There's yet another business, the Guesthouse.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Tell me about the Guesthouse.
Yes, I also have a Guesthouse by the main mall in Extension 5. It's called Main Street Guesthouse. It's called Main Street Guest. It's been running since 2019. Just before COVID there. So it's been running, still on. We're still pushing it slowly. It's getting there, and customers are coming through. I'm happy the government these days has said, no, you can go sleep wherever you want to sleep. So since my dear, so people prefer to sleep in these guest houses, which are not too expensive and affordable, and they're just clean and safe. That's what people want, basically. So.
And you had it even during COVID.
Yes, 2019, that's when it started. And that was quite challenging, because when immediately we started, then there was like, lockdown, shut down your business, shut down your businesses, and you find that and it's not my property, so I have to pay the landlord. So we have to make ends meet. And lucky enough, we had customers who were from outside the country who were closed. The borders were closed when they were here, so they had to negotiate with us to say, hey guys, I'm stuck here. So then we had to negotiate a long time agreement for a few months to say, no, if I'm here for so months. So that helped as well. But it was quite challenging. COVID really is challenging. Even for the Kenos suits. Yes,
we'll touch on that later. But for now, I want us to go back to the mindset.
Yes, sir.
In terms of how it started, what triggered the thought process of saying, I want to be an entrepreneur? What inspired you?
Yeah, I always when I watched movies, I'm not too much of a movie person, but you see movies, I like watching movies where I'll see lawyers arguing. Well, I never wanted to be a lawyer, but it was quite intriguing to me. I loved that kind of engagement. It was quite, because you could see that people are thinking on their toes.
You must like a series called Suits on
yes,
Netflix.
yes.
Yeah.
So I like that way people are challenged to think on their toes, because if lawyers, a question will just come in, you have to respond there, and the judge is there listening to what you're going to respond. So I kind of like that. So I think the type of the high level of those movies, to me, it kept me on my toes to think more. Okay. So it's always nice to be tuned, even when you are in business, because even if you're in business, things might just be running smooth. When all of a sudden there's a challenge, there may be power cut, there may be something you need to deliver people's stuff, or there might be any challenge. So you need to always think on your toes. So those are some of the things that I liked to try and associate myself totally quick thinking,
Is that how you ended up with a lawyer as a partner?
So I think that's how I end up with a lawyer. It was also an addition to that, because the way our business started, I think we were driving. I had bought a plot go Mankodi. So I told Toba about it. Then he was still an artist. I was his manager. I said, Brakana, I bought a plot called Mankodi. Looks like plots are cheaper there. How about if we just take a drive to Mankodi? Then we just talk to people and say we're looking for a plot, because that's what I did, and I found a plot. So let's maybe go there so that you also get an opportunity to buy a plot there. Then on the way, we were on Facebook. Then I said, someone commented on my Facebook page when I was preparing for my wedding. This was 2014. Someone commented to say, hey, I'm always looking good on clothes. Why don't I start my own line, because I look good in clothes? And I was telling him that I'm so interested in doing this thing because I love clothes. And he was like, I already have a write-up of a business proposal where I want to do TK designs, Tobakerkan designs. I said, but you never told me about it. I said, no, I thought I told you about it. Then we're like, let's do this thing, And then we agreed on that. And funny enough, on Monday, he's someone who thinks about things and write things down. Now, like, just doing things. Yeah. He sits down and thinks about things and plans, and now I just go and do. So I think that's why even in school I didn't go that far with school. I ended up with the diploma at UB, and I felt like, no, this is enough. So Monday, as he was thinking, on that same day, we had already decided the name of the business, what is going to be Kenos, because of our surnames. So we agreed. Then we said, okay, let's start looking for places, machinery, let's do a budget. He was saying that, let me go and do a budget. Monday, I was telling him that, Brana, I found an office space and I've already used my money to pay the deposit because I don't want anyone to take that office space. And he was like, we don't have a budget, we don't have machinery, resources, how are we going to work this thing? Then my response to him was, say, it's not our first time we started business, and we always sat down and said, let's plan things, let's get the monies, what. Well, how about if we just start it differently this time? Let's see what happens.
Bootstrap it.
Then that was how the birth of Kenos. That's how it started, in a small room in African Mall. We paid, and the room was there, no machinery, no employees, nothing. So, but we had to be reminded, so we are on out. So you're forced to think and act and move. Yes.
And sourcing the machines and so on, was that tough?
It was tough. So we had to look for second-hand machines. That's what we had to do. I think we started with 2 machines. It was a straight machine and an overlocker, which we got from someone. Lucky enough, since we were artists, we had relationship with other tailors, because we used to go to them time and again to get clothes for these artists, all this range of artists. So when we went there, we said, guys, we need this type of machines, but we don't have money. How can we work around? They said, no, at least give us a deposit of so much and start, you pay. So that's how it all started with second-hand machines, and we had to pull in a few friends, relatives to say, come and sit in the office to be our receptionist as we trying to start this thing. So that's how it started. Then
so it's very important, from what you're telling me, to get started.
It's very. That's why I was responding to Thabo to say that we had over 5 businesses that we tried, and we sat down. We said, let's try and have money. Let's try and get money. Let's try and think about it. Have a business plan. But we never really started. From there, soon you just forget about it. So it's very, very important to get started. Some things you hit the ground running sometimes. So because we had tried that, but it never worked for us. So getting started is vital in business.
And how did you then survive the first 1,000 days, as they say? I have a talk on this, and I teach on this about surviving the first 1,000 days, because that's the toughest period.
Thanks God, when we started these businesses, we were working somewhere. So that little money that we're getting from somewhere, we managed to get a bit of it to pay for. I think we paid for our rent from
You're
our
both
pockets.
employed somewhere else.
We're employed somewhere else. That's how we started this. So we got someone, a relative, to say, okay, come and try and manage it, even though we don't have a salary for you. We'll see as time goes on. So we had the first 2 months we had to start we pay from our salary, from our pockets. And the third month, the business managed to start paying for itself. We started doing weddings, and we also were very blessed to have, I get it, we already artists. We already knew I think our first post was on Sunday Standard. They said artists are turning into fashion designers or something. So that really pushed us. So people started calling us, are you guys now into fashion? What is happening? Now we make suits. So people started coming, weddings, individuals. So then that's how it started.
So it's picked up.
Yeah, then it picked up.
What is the situation now in terms of the size of the business, number of employees? How big is it now?
Yeah, because when we started, we only had, I think, 2 employees. But right now at Kenos Suits on its own, Kenos Custom Suits, where we do the formal wear. First we started with menswear. Then I think after 3 years, we now started doing ladies. First it was just men's suits. Now then we started doing the ladies wear. So that was growth on us. So right now we have over 20 employees, like the administration and the tailors. We have over 20. I think almost 30 we have.
Okay.
So it has really grown.
Okay.
Which is something we are grateful for.
Branches?
And we opened a branch in Zambia. We had a partnership with someone in Zambia, I think about 5 years back. But unfortunately, I think the mindset for the guy is not on our same level, because he wasn't really pushing the business, and it was just quite difficult for us to push it from this angle. Hence why he approached us. From Zambia to say, guys, I can see you guys are doing well in Botswana. Please come visit the site. Can't we have a partnership? Then we went there because we were very interested in. Because our plan is to say Africa then the world, and it's still our dream. Yes. So we are very happy about Zambia. So we started the business. The office started operating, but it looks like the guy was traveling too much. He was always in China. So no one was taking care of the business. No one was managing the business properly. The employees were there. They were just not really
waiting for salaries.
Yeah, they're just waiting for their salaries, chilling there and not managing the books properly. Customers were coming, but management was very bad. So we had to say, no, we can't continue like that. Yeah. So we've really.
I hope you haven't given up on Zambia.
No, we haven't. It's a good market. We haven't given on Zambia. It's just that, and then after that, then we had an opportunity to say, let's do Kenos Active, where we do sports line here in Botswana. So I think then we decided to focus more on that. But still, Africa is still our target in the world.
What does Kenos Activewear actually offering?
Kenos Activewear is it's totally Kenos Custom Suits is in phase 2. Then Kenos Activewear is in G West Industrial. There we focus solely on sportswear. We do your jackets, sporty jackets, your track suits. We do your running t-shirts. We do your golf shirts. We do your bucket hats. We do your buffer masks. Quite a lot of things we do for sports. So you mean
literally
like we manufacture. Manufacture. We just buy a fabric material from South Africa. Then we do all here, from the design of we have a designer in house who designs our jackets or t-shirts. Who designs. After that, we have to then print that. We bought a machine also in South Africa. We bought a machine which prints. Then we also bought another very big machine which presses, which takes the ink to the fabric, because the fabric, when you buy it, is white. Then after that, then we have our tailors who will cut and join all these pieces to make a garment. Okay. So it's all manufacturing from scratch.
How long has that one been running?
It's been running, this will be the third year. It will be the third year.
Oh, okay.
It will be the third year.
Why was
Yeah.
it important to keep them apart, the Kenos suits from the activewear?
Yes, because we've tried before to have them together, and there was a lot of confusion. Sometimes you're supposed to do things.
What do you mean there was confusion?
There was a bit of confusion because we're using the same tailors for the same thing. So sometimes, even when we dealt with workload, we'll just take too much from there. We can see that, let's just separate them into places, and has its own employees that has its own management, so that they run separately. So that even when there are challenges, when you have challenges, that if the other one has challenges, the other one can still support the other one. You know what I mean? That is our thinking where we separated them. And the one with the Kenos Active needed more space because the machineries are quite big, which do the dye sublimation and printing and all that. Yeah.
Isn't there a tendency for people to be obsessed with labels, Nike, Adidas, this? How are you dealing with that? That challenge?
I think that challenge has always been there, but I'm happy that with the our rulers out there has always been pushing for local empowerment. We have the Baholo pushing for support is the local, even implementing locally. So that has really supported us. Now people got to exposed to see what we do and the quality that we can give. That no, but these people are taking themselves serious. So we take ourselves so serious that we wouldn't mind to compete with Nike with the quality that we give.
Yeah.
We buy the same fabric that they use, then we make sure that our finishing and everything is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about some of your triumphs and your successes in business, and without necessarily mentioning names. I find that it's helpful to share with the viewers the triumphs.
Yeah, if I can talk about our biggest achievement was as Kenos. Our biggest achievement, because we started first we thought we were only going to be doing men's suits, but then we went into the ladies, and ladies are a bigger market. So that expansion was quite interesting, and the challenges that it came with, it was quite interesting because then we managed to overcome them. And another big success that we can celebrate, even though it's small, was us opening on a Kenos Active way. It was great.
I don't think it was small, by the way.
That's
a significant achievement.
So that was an achievement that we really loved to see us growing that way. And employing, like at Kenos Active way right now, we also employ over 20 staff members. So it's a good achievement that at least we are contributing to the economy of the country. Yes, because if you look at it, how I always look at it is that if I'm employing 20 people, this person maybe can a breadwinner, he has 10 other people to look after. So that gives me great numbers that I'm not only supporting one person. So it makes me sleep well at night when I'm doing something. I'm doing something positive to the economy of the country. I'm helping someone.
That's understandable.
So it's a great achievement to us. I feel great about it.
What about from the point of view of some of your clients? Can you not share, without necessarily going to names, your interaction with them and some of the successes there?
Yes, because like I'm saying, because we've managed to work with like big brands like your F&B, we've managed to do suits for F&B, and that made us to also meet people like Borre Bohatsu, who are big in the industry. They, him giving you attention to say, I like what you're doing for our business, It makes you feel so good about it. Meet him. You do something for the ministry, and you end up minister saying, I also want your suit. We have a few ministers that we're working with right now. The last budget speech that was done in Parliament there by Mepegi Serame, she was wearing all Kenos suits. So it's great to see our athletes, but some of good Olympic in Kenos Active way. Those are things that we were celebrating and we're happy about. To see Kawa people branded in Kenos Active. It's those are the things that we really celebrate, and we say, God, we thank you.
Do you have a unique sort of trademark? Are you likely to be going the direction of Nike and Adidas? How do you handle the IP side?
The dream is always, like I said, our dream is Africa, then the world. So when you're talking about the world, you're talking about the spaces, computer spaces, Nike.
Yes.
And it's something we can do. Because if you look at the talent that we have in this country, the upcoming youngsters, Babatang, we always have. Last time we had a competition in our Face of Kenos, where we're giving guys an opportunity to say, no, be creative and show us how you can dress up, what you can design, what you can come up with. And it had a lot of attention. It was all over, and we had great sponsorship because people appreciate what we're doing. As the competition was run, we had more people calling to say, no, we want to be part of this thing. So clearly, if we take ourselves serious and serious thing, the world has a behel. We're getting calls from outside, people saying, I also like to have a Kenos suit. How can I get there? You know what I mean? So it clearly shows that no, we're only not here. We can compete outside there and get more numbers. So that is what we're looking into, to say we want to be seen on our computer like Adidas and Nike, and it's possible. It's not impossible. If it was done by a human being like me, or like me, why can't I do it? I'm human as well.
If they did it, why can't you did it?
I remember I had you speak somewhere. You didn't say that. I said
that to the Glitz Awards. That's why we meant it. Perhaps let's just pivot a little bit to that. What is the things like awards and the Glitz Awards? What is your role there, and what is Kenos Suit's involvement in that? I saw both you and your partner there.
Yes, we I think it's the second time we were nominated. I think the first one, my business partner was nominated as an individual then, but I think it was still pushed through by the brand Kenos Suits. But this time we've been also invited by the Glitz, we've been also nominated by the Glitz and Glamour to say, okay, Kenos Suits, we can see the work that you're doing in terms of fashion, growing the brand, and the brand is growing. So we want you to be part of this, and we've been nominated, and we are very happy to have been nominated there. So it's a good thing, and I'm also happy to see, I've noticed that Mogobe is also sponsoring the part of the sponsorship or partners there. So it's a good thing. So clearly it shows that they take themselves seriously. If you see people like you being part of that, then you feel like, oh, okay, these people will take themselves serious because you take yourself serious. And we appreciate that, and we see that.
And the actual awards are going to be towards the end of the year, right?
Yes, I think in November.
In November.
Yes, sir.
All right, we've touched a little bit about the successes and the triumphs, and we really congratulate you here.
Thank you, sir.
At Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom.
Thank you,
We're
sir.
very impressed.
Thank you, sir.
But there are challenges in life.
Yes, sir.
Setbacks, some of them spectacular. Can you touch on those?
Yes, sir. I think the biggest challenges, apart from starting the business where we didn't have finance, we had to finance it from our pockets and from our little salaries then. That was quite a challenge, because then we're still trying to learn how the business operates. And then we didn't have money to really get it out there, to get it on your newspapers, because by then newspapers were more stronger before social media take a So that was one of the biggest challenges we had to grow and to.
Because you had to pay a lot for newspaper adverts.
So it was quite expensive to buy newspapers. Just a smaller 3/4 article was quite a lot of money. So, but we managed to. That was one of the biggest challenges. Then COVID came through. You had to find a way to pay your employees because they were sitting at home. You also had to pay your rentals. So that was really. I think Hamudimo hit this at that level. Nothing can ever stop us, because it was really a challenge. When you got back to business after COVID, now trying to get somewhere again, and you find that it affected everybody, even individuals. So you had to prioritize how level your priorities. So level I need food first before I can look at clothes. So at least let me just survive with this. And custom making is something that it's a bit expensive. So. But we somehow managed to survive, and that was quite tough. COVID was a serious challenge for us, I must say.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think was the key to your survival?
Our key to our survival was the patience and to say we have a dream here and we have to achieve this dream. So we expected challenges in business. We didn't know it could be COVID. That was way higher than we expected, but we said, okay, challenges that God throws at you, I think He has a plan for you. So don't give up. Never give up on your goals.
Yeah, there are people who say that COVID was both a blessing and a curse. Is there a sense in which it was a blessing for you?
Yes, it was, because we learned a lot. we learned a lot, even in terms of how to run the business. It doesn't mean that if you are closed, the business should also be closed. Because that's the time we also approached I think it was the Minister of Trade. Then we said, oh, we can manufacture your masks after the fabric masks were allowed. We said, hey, at least, so may we beg you to give us the license so that we manufacture the masks. Then we started selling them. So, and our then that time we managed to also push our business through social media, because most people were bored. They had wanted something to be. They would go to Facebook and all the other social media platforms. So that's the time we also had to push too much content there to see what we could do to let people know that we exist, and even after COVID we'll be there. So it also helped.
Yeah,
it was also an eye opener to other opportunities out there.
Yeah. Speaking of social media, are you also modeling your own things? Because I got the impression from the number of times I see both of you that
yes,
that it's not just posting, there's a more to it.
When we started this business, I think the past 4 years, it was only me and my business partner who did the shoots to say we are marketing this business as we're gonna push this business as, because we also leveraging we're on the spotlight radios. We had time radio interviews through being artists as well, so we're a bit on the public eye. We said, why don't not use us, because we also we know the dream for this business and we're already in the public eye. Why not? Then so we really been there. Even now we're still there, but not as much as we used to be, because now we have our face of Kenos who've been nominated by people and one got to be the face of Kenos. So we have that, and we also after
you have models modeling for you.
Yes, we have models for you, and we also used influencers. We worked so much with Lerumo and Repiti. We also worked with Kumo. We worked with Resego Motokatari. We worked with quite a lot. I think we also did something for who? We did things for Bomat, like Frame Basha. Last time at the Glitz, he was actually wearing our suits.
Yeah.
Our suit, yes, that we did for them. So that was also taking us out there. We also, William last, he also
the biggest celebrity in the country.
He has our suits. So we also managed to push through their pages that to get more exposed there. And lucky enough, like I said, we've managed to also do for some few ministers. Master Rame is always free to talk about who dresses her, and so it's a good thing.
That's very good.
So that's how we're using this social media to push it.
So is there like a conscious social media strategy that you can share?
What we did as we're growing, we learned first we're just managing our pages ourselves to post and everything. We learned with time there are other people there who can do it smarter, who focuses basically on managing your pages. So there's a company that we contracted, which is VYB Media, that manages our social media, who does the contents and plan everything. Okay, for the next 3 months, this is what we're doing. This year we're doing this thing. This is how we want this. Since it's winter, we have to plan our trench coat season, do a shooting. So now the other ones who are managing, now we just oversee to make sure that they capture Toro Yaronas. Yeah.
And is it expensive to do that, or is it costly, or?
It is expensive, but in business you have to spend to get something. So
is it worth it?
It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it.
So how is it different from the time you were doing it yourselves to now when you have an expert doing it?
Yes, it's totally different, because by then I think we also had a ceiling and we could go to a level, but these guys specialize on these things. Some of them went to school for these things as we were just doing it. So then the way they're approaching it, you can even see the way they're planning things, how they're doing it. They're even so smart to know, okay, this is the best time to post because traffic here, or maybe this is what is happening. So it's what they love doing, and they've learned. So they're reaching another market because we're limited, because it's not exactly what we know. Yes.
And has that led to translated into growth in terms of followers and sales?
It has so much. It has so much. And because even the first, I think the first face of Kenos that we did, it was mostly us. But the last one that we did, it was very successful. It didn't have too much controversy like the second last, because we were doing it and people felt like we just choose someone who's a friend, because the lady who we chose to be the face of Kenos is a lawyer as well. So they just thought, another lawyer front of top, or maybe they were studying together. So this first time we gave it to the social media managers to say you are running this competition. Even us will get to know the name of the winner at the event when we announce it at Entrepreneurial. So that's what happened. No controversy at all. People were just excited.
What was the controversy? Some of us missed it.
Yeah, the controversy was that the lady who won was Daphne. She's a lawyer. She's a partner somewhere. I think in CBD here. So most people associated her with my wife because they went to school together at junior school and senior school. And again, she's a lawyer. So they just thought, a friend to Donald's wife, she's a lawyer, so although she was studying with Tobo. So they just handpicked the other guys who entered the competition.
So those are the comments you were getting?
Those were the comments. There was like, no, that can't happen that way. You bought this thing. So it was in, and I think also what she did, she was smart about, I think there's a page here, or something that ladies really follow, and it has a lot of following. So she managed to convince the managers of that page to do some type of, I don't know what they did to drive traffic to us voting for her, because we looked at the numbers for her. So, and she got many numbers, and so there was that controversy to say, no, she bought votes, and again, she is a friend to your wife. You went to school together, and she's a lawyer. It means that definitely she knows Kereka. So it was all over, and I even remember the guys, Setomo. He's got a lot of following. He's the one who was really pushing to say, no, it can't happen, or else Kenos, we're going to shut it down. I even remember then
threatening to shut it down.
Then Kenos, you know how much numbers he has. Then Kenos at some stage, he said, no, I also have Kenos suits, the suits are Kenos, but Tom, when I saw Tom, bulldoze it together. So it was really challenging. Sleepless nights. So thinking, what's going to happen?
How did you manage the PR?
It was tough because me and my business partner, we totally agreed. I remember, when you're running business, you always get advices from your wife. We were both married, so our wives were thinking, because they're part of the part of the business as well. They were like, no, let's get a PR. When we inquired on the prices for the PR was so high, and me and Tobo agreed, no, sometimes PR is just keeping quiet and not saying much. Why don't we just keep quiet and see what happens? And people
get on with our lives.
And people had a lot of time that time because they look COVID, so people never said it, so they were always just there.
Yeah.
So that's how we managed it. We just say, no, our PR this time will just be silence. We're not going to respond to anything, because once you start responding to something and you don't respond properly, they'll start punching in holes.
You might
and
give it fuel.
You fuel it. So we kept quiet. But then on the other side, our likes and the followers, engagement, more page in your night started skyrocketing. So it was
a good thing came out of it.
Yeah.
So controversy does sell.
It does sell. So yeah. So right now we have almost 100K followers in our page. So
yeah, it's
good.
One thing that your partner told me when he was here, Tobo Kereka, was that he's a limitless man. How has that limitlessness influenced you, or you're the one who caused him to be Mr. Limitless?
I should say limitlessness. I think it's on both of us. But he overthinks compared. He thinks too much about things. He wouldn't even sleep. He'll call you at 2 in the morning and say, Brian, I can't sleep because I've been thinking about this. So I think our good partnership emerges because now I'm someone who gets things going. I'm someone who gets into the workshop and make sure things are done. I'll go and look for the fabric. I will drive to South Africa to make sure that the fabric is area. I'll be in the workshop to make sure that the work client is done, if it means that. But he's the one who he'll be thinking about things. Or okay, if we do these things this way, how are they going to affect us in the future? Or maybe if we have this job, how can we execute it with really protect delay? Yeah,
even legally.
Legally, and just looking at the risks which are there, or if we manage it this way, he will be thinking about that. But I'm the one who will get up in the morning and say, I have to go and get that fabric done. I have to get this gas working. I have to make sure that there's overtime. I have to make sure that there's they know about this thing on time, so that they know they're going to knock off late. And I have to organize to make sure that the transport is there. I go and get these things moving. But he's the one who thinks about things. things.
So
we'll
he's
talk.
more of a visionary. You are more of an executioner.
Yes. I get this movie. He thinks too much about it. Even when we're still in it, he'll still be scrutinizing it. Okay, where can we?
Both traits, both skills are really useful.
They're very useful. They're very useful. That's very useful. He's not someone who wants to get into the workshop and say, "Hey, check." He will come and check the quality of things, but in terms of the nitty-gritties, getting things there and how people go to the office, how people are living, he doesn't worry too much about this. I'm more operational to make sure that these things gets done. This work has to be done on time, and yes.
Yeah, in this country, partnerships have always been a challenge. Some of them don't last much. Why do you think that partnerships in the country or in this part of the world are a huge challenge, and most businesses are solopreneurs?
Yes, I so much believe in partnerships. The reason being, I've tried many businesses on my own. Of course, I do have businesses on my own right now, but I've noticed that in terms of businesses, businessing, I might think of something that is completely wrong. Then, if I'm on my own, I'm definitely going to go ahead and do it. But if I have to run past it another brain, okay, this is what he's thinking. Hey, me, how about this thing? How am I? And then you'll be like, ish, I didn't look at that. So, and again, it's your mind as well, having the belief to know that if I have a partner, it's going to enhance. So if you come to a business, a partnership, you know it all, definitely that business will never go anywhere, because you're never going to listen to a business partner. You're never going to value Sasibua. You won't even give time. Most of the things you'll be doing things the way you like, and definitely don't call it a business because it's always about you. So you have to know that sometimes what you'll be thinking, the partner might not be warm about it. Then you have to sometimes learn to just say, okay, this time I'm the one who takes a seat back and say, okay, let's do his plan. Even though I don't believe so much in it, but let me support him, see what can support it becomes successful. So yes.
So you've decided that partnerships work better than but you've decided to keep both.
Yes, I've
what is the thinking behind that?
Yeah, I've decided to keep them both. I don't know if I think as a human being, you want that space where you are your own boss and you make final decisions on your own, and you take all the risks. If there is a risk, you take that. If success, you all take it all. So this way, you just want to make decisions on your own, because sometimes some things you just want to decide on the spot, and if it's partnership, you need to consult first.
Yeah.
So if it's your own thing, then you decide on the spot. If there's an opportunity you want to grab, you just grab it. That way, your partner might not be available. Maybe I'll more flight message, then the opportunity will pass. So it has advantages and disadvantages.
It does, yeah.
But so I wanted to have that opportunity. Some things I'll just decide on my own and go with it. Opportunity gain out of it. Let me gain out of it. So hence why I have them both. I think they're both good. They have advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I want to get back to something you touched on earlier, which is using influencers or celebrities to promote your brand. How does that work exactly, and is it something that young entrepreneurs watching this conversation should consider?
They should consider it, because it's not always about the money. Like right now for Kenos, I wouldn't mind to say, okay, William, last come. I know you're going to the Awasco States, and I know chances of you winning didn't, even if you don't win, but the platform it's
good, more than 5 million.
Yes, so come make suits. Which suits do you want? Come make suits. Post, say you are doing the suits, okay, no, whether you win or, and at the end of the day, he says, okay, you get me the suits for free, then I'm not going to be charging you for my mileage. So that barter system, it's still there. You can still do that. You can say, okay, I'll give you my clothes. You push me more. You need clothes, William. You don't have to go and pay someone else for the suits that are custom made, and we do them the way you like. So that is important as well, because you can't always be wanting to pay or to be paid for something. Sometimes you need to sit and say, okay, how can
some
benefit that?
People may not see how it actually translates eventually to sales. Can you help those people?
No, definitely. I think your customer, to me, I believe that my customer is not someone who comes only and buys from me. It's someone who knows about me.
Yeah.
So you need to know about me. There's Kenos custom suits there. They make nice suits. Once you know that, you hear a friend or a cousin or when house or suit that time, you're like, hey, I go check a ball. That's a say. It's not a direct one, but at the end of the day, you knowing about me. So you getting yourself out there. Right now, I remember before I met you, I saw something on newspapers just saying the Mogobe brothers gone missing or something like that.
Yeah, it was on
and
Facebook.
Because I didn't know them, but I know Mogobe. I was like, okay, hey. You see, because of the brand and that the brand is out there and it's a respected brand, and you see, so it was on Facebook and it was trending because Mogobe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had not done any business with you, but guys, this Mogobe.
You were concerned.
Yeah, I was concerned.
Yeah.
You see, so knowing about me, knowing the brand, Kenos is out there, Mogobe is there, it's very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is
so that's how you sell. It might not be directly, but people need to know about you.
Yes. All right. One always thinks in terms of growth, because I'm a strong believer that if you are not creating or you are not growing, you stagnate and you regress. So I'd like to think that you're working on growth for all the 4 companies. Are there any strategies for growth that you can share with us, starting, for instance, with the Guesthouse, for instance?
Yes. The Guesthouse, currently with the Guesthouse, I have a few people that I'm talking to who are possible investors into the business. Because I agree, you have partners and sometimes you have investors who will just say, okay, I'll give you so much money and this is what I'll be expecting in return to just grow the business. So that's the plan, because it's we have a few rooms, about 6 rooms, but the plan is to take it to another level, to have more rooms, to have a nice structure which is there that
still have space.
You still have space for that. So I'm looking for that to go into that market to say let's grow it, because it's located in a very nice area, in a very secure area. So why not do that? So that's the plan with the Guesthouse, to have that, and to then after that to get more into the government offices and say, so this is what we can offer you, and
what of the option of turning it into an Airbnb? I've heard people talk about that.
That's another thing, because I think just before COVID, Airbnb, they were really the thing, but from there I think somehow it did this, but I think it's a viable one. It's a viable one. It's a good one. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So you are considering
that
all
is
these options.
Definitely an
What
option.
about Gym Life? Prospects for growth?
Gym Life is just on Saturday, as we speak, this coming Saturday, Gadi 25 year, we will be celebrating our first year as Gym Life.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much. So we have our anniversary celebrations at the park where we operate. So we're very happy to have managed to be Gym Life to this year, and so many people coming to us, and so many people who cannot transfer to this month. We have a lot who we managed to do that, and it makes us sleep.
Do you have 1 or 2 examples you can share? It's always helpful to brag a little bit about clients you've managed to help without mentioning names.
Yeah, I know she would like to be mentioned. There's one lady called Onks. She came to us and she Onks. Yeah, Remita Mamanoko go training, because she also sells manok. So she came to us, thought that it was tough, even to just do few 5 jumping jacks. It was a big problem for her. But
what was the issue?
No, how it deals, it ends up affecting mangole the ankle. So when you want someone to be it becomes a serious challenge. So we had to be very patient with her, to do exercises and the build her strength first thing, slowly. Right now, the jumping jacks, she's always sharing in our page to say, look at this dress can go
within a year.
Yeah, within a year. Look at this dress and she's old, because she's 49, I think.
That's not old.
Yeah,
middle age.
Yes, middle age. She's not at that age, you expect too much energy on her, but the energies that she has right now at that age, you can see her.
She's completely transformed.
She's transformed, and she's always showing the dresses before and after, and other customers who are there as well. People are happy about
and
that.
What was the trick for you to manage to help her?
Well, we had to have the patience. When you're dealing with people, you have to have the patience, because you have to understand that we are totally different, and the way maybe Larna respond to that thing is different. And apart from that, the way we can push ourselves is different. And the challenges they go through in terms of dijo, because gym you can separate it from dijo. One doctor, the dietitian in terms of the that. So it means that you have to find another way closer to that. So that may take a bit of time. You also have to motivate your but by believe in themselves and by believe they can do it as long as someone has done it. So it takes all of that. You're not just going to say do 10 push-ups and someone can do that. You feel like she's lazy or something. You have to understand we are different that way. So you have to have the patience and guide them and encourage them. Encouraging people is a good thing everywhere, even in business. You have to always encourage.
So in addition to giving them exposure to the equipment, you actually take them through, hold them, the diet, with the exercise regimen. That's very interesting.
It is very interesting. I'm learning a lot in terms of that. I'm not a dietitian, but I'm learning a lot right now in terms of that, because even when sometimes we ask the dietitian to just come maybe for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes to just come and generally talk about the basics of what are the basics. Those who are, because some don't have medical aid, some can't even go to the dietitian. So sometimes come through and do this as well as you sell yourself to the Baba. They have medical aid, they have the monies to do that, so they come. So we also learn that.
All right, now let's talk about the big ones, the Kenos activewear and the Kenos suits, in terms of growth plans and prospects for expansion.
Yes, sir. Those are what we're working on. Like we said, Kenos is almost 10 years now. So we feel we should have, right now, we once opened, we had a branch in Francistown for Kenos suits in Arana for about 3 years. But I think then there's a plan lesson because the management issue which happened in Zambia is the challenge that we also had in Francistown. We had someone who was supposed to be our manager, but unfortunately now business because even when people deal sales with cash and everything, now it's a more bad thing. You want to spend the regulated material, but was the suit, but when it comes to accounting, there was zero accounting. So like as we speak right now, we have people from the North by or they are every day calling our office to say, Keno, we want you in the North.
We need you back.
Yeah, it's expensive for us to come to Gaborone for suits, transport, the Boroko, Dijo. Please come back. So we Francistown is waiting on us. Soon Francistown, we're getting back to Francistown. We have people we're having relationships with who are more like mentoring us, who are in South Africa, who does the same things. But like, no guys, make it South Africa come through. So we also want to go there. Yeah. So it's Africa than the world. So we want to
start
already
here. Have the brand recognition.
Exactly.
Which is very powerful thing.
And thanks God to the social media, we can go all into the world.
Yeah.
So we know.
What about Maung?
Maung and Kasani is places that we'll think of definitely after Francistown, because we have to do one branch, make sure that they're both stable, then we can move to another one. We don't want to do all of them at the same time, then managing and everything becomes complicated for us. And I'm happy to say, last year, is it last year? No, it's actually... Yeah, it's last year. It was the end of last year. We really an opportunity to do something as Kenos active, something big for IPHC Church.
Yes,
we did some nice t-shirts for them, some nice design for them, and it's a very huge church. So that got us to the market of South Africa as well as sports. So if people knowing about us, this. So it's something that we celebrate as well. It's growth. Yeah.
All right, I want to ask you one or two questions about men's grooming. The impression I get when I look at you, especially when you've posted, is you pay a lot of attention to grooming. So what are the mistakes that men do, and how should we present ourselves in terms of grooming and appearance as men?
Our tagline go Kenos is image matters. because before I even talk to you, you already have a certain perception before we even talk along. So it's not about you wearing expensive clothes. It's just about we can your old genie so that matters a lot. Because if you come to Mr. Mogobe, for example, without an appointment, and he's passing by the reception there, and you are there, you're trying to kamakazi him, to see him without an appointment. If you're sitting there and you look not expensive, but you look more presentable. When he looks at you naturally as a human being, because how you look. So that's very important, how you look, how you appear to, but it doesn't have to look expensive, but it has to look the part. Let me give you a minute. But if you don't care for that, then it becomes a problem, because he doesn't look like he would say something that would bring value.
So what are the rookie mistakes that men do in terms of grooming?
I think in terms of rookie mistakes that we do as men in terms of grooming, I think first I like to always say as men, from a younger age, we sometimes we cannot compete with. We forget that we are our own competition, because it's important to how when the little get next door or and how you sort motor so young motor GTI next to the about the GTI so motor GTI we win competition someone we win, so you don't know, so you have to be your own competition. We develop so that tomorrow we now change the phone every day, because so how hello because today it's very important to have that peace for how peace la it's an opportunities it's carry la say save over as a fire because we it will not so really, because achieve under pressure computer but achieve why don't you copa chance Mr. Mogobe, I can see you are where you are le mentoring that you are having but I'm so interested in knowing this. What can you do for me? You see, we need that. That.
But are there any fashion bloopers or fashion sins that we men commit that we should stop committing in terms of the way we dress, the way we mix?
Yes.
The shoes and whatnot. Can you
yes. First things suit is very important how we apara I mean the length of your pants diameter like as I'm seated right now, I'm not supposed to have my buttons buttoned.
No.
You know, fashion, these are basics. You can't sit down with your bed, but you find that people will be doing the this, and even when you are wearing a boot with your shoes, you need to know how I your boot. It's also your length of your pants should not be too much. Because you're not giving that boot a chance to super at the same time. Boot needs to be seen because it's a boot. So you always have to have it above or just below slightly and onto the it has to be like in a seamless connect the hella smart so that it looks that good. So you don't just wear it, even the size of your pants. You don't have to wear baggy pants then go with your shirt. It's small. They all have to be aligned. If it's more slimmer, shirt is slimmer, let the pants be slimmer. If it's more of a standard fitting or it's a regular fitting, let the pants and the jacket be both regular.
So do you offer those services, image consultants?
We do. We don't offer services of the image consultants, but as long as you are a customer to us, we sit down with you because you are paying to us. We say, okay, what is your achievement? What is your style? What do you like doing? And what is the event? Is this a dinner? Is this a wedding? And what are your colors? And we advise on on the colors. Or no, if you have this color, you can't have this color with this color because and what is your skin tone? How about the color green and skin tone? Go with that. So we advise that to our clients, which is also the growth that we also want to look into to get into that space to say, no, we want to now image consult. So whereby you pay us for that consultation. Before you do your wedding, you come and talk to us about all that, then you pay for that. If you want suits, you pay for suits. That is part of
But some major changes have taken place in fashion, haven't they? For instance, some years ago when Jay-Z started wearing a suit with techies, it became fashionable. Before he did that, everybody thought that was a no-no.
Exactly. You see, the good thing about fashion is that we change. We change fashion. Fashion can change. Right now with me, people know that I'm a Kenos guy. So even if I'm going to wear something, maybe I can somehow get away with it because they feel like, no, that guy knows what he's doing. He's into fashion, So fashion, like Jay-Z did, is changed by influencers, like people into the fashion. They're the ones who dictate fashion. Like Lanta, the skinny pants. Now that big people are wearing slim, skinny. So you can see in a change a hell. So Jay-Z, when he did that, he set a trend. We all like it. I was thought about t-shirt thing and I had to wear sneaker and it looks nice. That's the good thing about fashion. It's yes, you make it.
All right. Now I want to touch on this issue that the government is making all the noise about lately. The issue of mindset change, attitude change, and the thrust towards that. What do you think of the government's drive, and how is Kenos Suits embracing the imperative for that, or the drive, if at all?
I think it's a good thing what the government is. I must say I'm happy with our president, because I think most of the things that he's doing, I think it's him. So now I believe when you are a leader, you do what you believe in. You go all out there. If it's an issue, do it. So even this thing, because house now you have to leave a legacy as well.
Yes, people have to remember you.
People have to remember you. What did you do for our country? So I'm happy. It's like whatever he thinks is good for his country, he goes ahead and do it. So this mindset change, I think it's a good thing. It's something that cannot be done overnight. I think, to my understanding, it's not something that you can just change. If you had a habit, because mindset change, if you had a habit that you have to sit down on yourself and say, okay, how can I achieve this mindset change? Because I pass by so how can I change that? And you have to look at it positively first. No, this is a positive thing that can do so. Maybe to also, maybe if you are a married guy, to say, hey, that was make time for me to spend more time with them as family. We need, because you have to first when I will yourself or that might change you benefit positive about it. If you can't do that, then there's a problem, because it's not something you can just overnight to worry. So I think it's a good drive in terms of us businesses. Okay, how do we now think different? Business, how do we appear differently? Who's this guy? Who's this guy? So we have to also switch, remake a shock, or no, you look different. How like can guy look different? Sell the image, because image matters. But you're wearing a nice suit, or maybe
because that's how I met you first. It was online.
Yes,
it was seeing you on Facebook.
And I must say I'm so honored, because I was humbled. When I got home, I told my wife, I'm so humbled, because this event, the innovation hub, where the trainee pilots by graduate there, and And he approached me. I was waiting to go and approach him, and I was waiting for my time nicely. I'm going to see him. And I guess thing, he comes to me and say, "Oh, I know you. You're the Kenos guy. I know your partner. Can we take a picture?" I was humbled I was humbled so much about how humble you are.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very
So
much.
that helped told me, no, you know, you're looking at him. He's up there, and he's coming to you and say, "Let's take a picture." The humbleness.
Yeah.
I think this is why even when we're at church, like, you are humble. Then that's
Those who
Mr.
humble
Mogobe,
themselves will be
Yes.
exalted. Those who will
Amen.
be exalted.
So-
Those who exalt themselves will be humble.
Yes, I didn't expect that happening. So
Yeah.
I was like shocked. Even when I was taking with the picture with you, I was still thinking, is this happening? He just said, "Let's take a picture together with
Thank
my
you.
phone." I'm like, "Kere Mogobe," you know.
Yeah.
So I thought I should tell you now. I haven't told you before.
oh,
but
no,
that
you-
was humbling. And it's a lesson.
I'm even further humbled by
Yes,
that.
yeah. So it's a lesson to me to say, lao lukeno but bango ba go level ka set perception in still humble yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to talk for a minute about your heroes and sheroes. Who do you look up to? Who are some of the most powerful influences in your life? And can you say a few words about them?
Being someone who godileng without a father figure being there, so mothers has always been my sheroes.
Yeah.
They've always been my heroes because I respect them. Out there right now, there are a lot of them who are out there. But 12, certain age, mothers have always been my heroes out there. Because I grew up with a father figure, without a father figure. I see a little thing, but I see thing there to
That's
support.
a part of your family.
So I always I envy that. So I always looked forward to getting married and giving my kids getting that experience.
Yes.
Because there was no how I could experience it. My father wasn't there. So I said, I should not be like that, man. I should be
should be available for your children.
Available for my children, and exactly I'm part that. So I'm happy of this. So my sheroes together, all the ladies, they are out there by talking without their father figure. Because as a father, ke khole ke khona bona gore di challenges le go le gompeng la harle teng le mago bongwana ke gore bana ba thoka di assignment yo mo ga tso go thoka ba phakela ba prepare wa gore imagine a mother on her own when from there she has to go to work, she has to watch, that type of thing. So they've always been there. But in terms of men, my heroes were there for their families. They're proud of their families. They do an interview like this. He says, "My wife, this, my wife," because it shows that those people appreciate them.
Those are our pillars.
Those are our pillars. It's not people by how these are the things that are totally. So if you are out there and anyone, I don't have anyone specific. Family la go pala ba tra bona gore monna o la ka sengwe sengwe le sone o mona o ka tshwere ngwana ga mo se clinicing a mo se skale mosadi a ile go theogela nteng. You are my hero. You don't have to have too much money or anything like that. In the society, you are a hero. In terms of business, people like you. I don't have specifics. People like you who are out there and are doing so well and are humble.
Yeah. What about in fashion, the Louis Vuittons of this world?
Yeah, the Louis Vuittons. I haven't gone
like that.
I haven't gone too far. People like David Tlale. I was humbled to meet David Tlale live. I had the pleasure of organized the event. That thing, very invited to come and say, okay, no, come and sit in the panel with David Tlale. It was humbling to meet David Tlale because he's done so well, and his name
it's a big name,
a huge name. You see, and he is a huge name, and there's someone more.
I've met him. He's down to earth.
He is. We get Lele, so those are the people who always. They are my heroes as well. So there's a gentleman who also is more like our mentor, more South Africa. His name is Theo. Theo Ngobani. His line is Mr. Slim Fit. Yeah, we actually met in a shop. Really na le thobo na mo itse na next time thata na mo follow thata mo social media. So in a shop we're buying something materials go South Africa, then Thobo is like, look who's here. This is Mr. Slim Fit in person, and this is the guy that we look up to. He does.
So you went up and introduced yourself.
Yeah, Thobo. Then I said, no, let's go meet the guy. Then we went to the guy and said, no, this is who we are and this is what we do, you know. And the guy was so humble as well.
Yeah.
We even exchanged numbers. He said, no, you're in SA, please come. We even visited his office. No, he does best folk suits and customing. So those are the people in terms of fashion that we look up to.
What about locally, guys like Bob Proctor? Proctor? No, not Bob Proctor something.
BK Proctor.
BK Proctor.
Yeah,
yes.
BK Proctor is into the he doesn't do formal. He does casual, and I think he doesn't manufacture here. So I respect the guy for the business because he's doing very well.
Yes.
He has them manufactured elsewhere and brings them here and sell them. But my a manufacturer here because he's got good quality and everything. But we need to bring it here. Material and do them here. But he's the one of the guys that I know. Even BK Proctor, we met first Kako Music because he used to do songs for V. So we all know each other. On that level.
Okay.
So he was
musicians have become fashionistas.
Yes, he was a producer and a artist. Then that's how the name BK Proctor got known first before
part of.
So he's doing very well. I'm very impressed with him. He takes himself very serious.
Okay.
And he takes business very serious. So he's one of the guys out there. They inspire other people.
Yes.
But my Torah manufacturer, everything doing it here, which I think is possibly is in his pipelines to say, okay, I want to do it here myself.
Yeah. Grab that crystal ball and look into it, and then let's project 2 decades or 3.
Yes.
What do we see? Describe your biggest vision.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that as a lifestyle, anything lifestyleish, be your perfumes, be your sports line, be your lotions, be your everything, is something that we want to be part of. And I would like to see him. I think 2 decades from now, my son will be almost 30 years. I want to see myself for Kiki Sitabek and them coming into the business and driving this thing. That's my dream, to see Asano Lerumo Africa because they will still have the energies running around with all these branches all over partnerships. So we have. It won't be a bad thing for us to be in Paris and competing with those guys. Or Henry Paris, who are doing very well there outside in the UK. So we want that, and Rahola slowly, but it will be nice. Top also has Bashimane, so it will be nice for Rababone. But hopefully they will like
part of this.
Yeah, part of this in Empire. Kore lebana bana ba natsa ba gola bintse ba tabatswela in Empire. It can sustain them. It hira Batswana ya hira le batho ba seng Batswana ra tsaya madi a ra ditsa mo Botswana from that's the door we have.
Because the talk is also just to make sure in terms of the chain, that the things are done in locally as much as possible.
I thought that because as long as things are done here, we employ more people, like creating more employment and revenue.
So can I predict a big conglomerate with over 1,000 employees?
Definitely, that is going to happen. Nothing is impossible. If as long as someone has done it before, nothing is impossible. And with people like you who are mentoring people out there, who are here writing the book, it's less than $500, and you can see what it's a book, informative, blind from a kettle, from the kettle post to a serial entrepreneurship. So Corey is something that as you can relate easily with. So getting encourage about to buy this because how the Maraka, you know what we're talking about. Then to where you are home pay.
Yes.
So we have advantages. Let's take advantages of this learner hall. Definitely we're going to employ over 1,000 people. It's going to happen.
That sounds very exciting.
Yes, sir.
All right. Here's your chance to ask me a question if you have one.
I think my question is, how did you do it? And how did you still stay humble? I was saying before you even respond to that, I know a lot of people who made it out there. They're just always too busy. Whether they're at an event, they're just too busy.
Wow.
So
you doing what?
Yeah. I don't know, sometimes on their phones, on their calls, but I could see you at 2 different events that we attended together. You had all the time to talk to people. You had all the time to encourage people. You had a time to come to me and say, let's take a picture. Right? So, I mean, how?
Yeah.
I think that's the only question I have.
Yeah. It's a 2-part answer that I'll give you. One is I won't go into detail because you are buying the book.
Yes.
And in the book I go a bit more into detail. Then secondly, I'm really humbled by those comments. I've had a lot of people say that, but I think the influence of my mother and my father, because these were down to earth people and they got along with everybody, and I don't remember them ever saying they had enemies and things like that. That may have influenced me, but also my religious faith. I mean, I'm a 4th generation Seventh-day Adventist. Humility is a very important component, and I it's just the person I am, and I believe you always need to have time for other people.
Yes.
So that not only does medical science advise it to avoid stress, you don't need to be willing to delegate and distribute work. You've seen my team here. I have a big team.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm willing to empower them and to delegate to them. As long as they give me reports regularly, they update me what's happening, and I can see there's progress. No problem. So that is, to me, that's a quick answer to a very tough question. But I thank God if some of those positive traits are showing through. And do buy the book. I'll sign it for you momentarily.
Yes.
The viewer, you also get the book. Like I said, it's $3.99. You get 10% off if you mention you saw it during this interview.
Exactly.
Yeah, wonderful.
No,
I hope I've answered the question.
No, I think you answered me very, very well. And talking about your parents there, it's something that touches me because my mom on her own. Then she struggled with us and my younger sisters. So we that smaller family, which your mom has to be on her own all the time, and through all the challenges, she had issues, and she had to stop working. So you can imagine.
Yeah.
Because of Botsoho, but she always struggled with us. So parents really matter so much. And so when you touch on the topic about your mother, it's something that is so close to me, because struggling to where we are today.
Wow.
We are there to say, Mom, let's make sure that you're good.
First chapter is about her, my mom.
I'm happy. I'm happy. Here I am with my copy, which I'm going to definitely encourage other viewers there and to buy this book so that you it's very affordable. If you look at the size and what you are getting from it, a 360 that you are getting, because there's already a discount. It's something saying it's you can't even say give price. It's a giveaway.
You've been kind.
Yes,
you've been very kind.
And I still encourage them to hit that button as subscription to subscribe to this to the podcast.
As we conclude our conversation,
yes.
I'm going to invite you to look at that phone, that camera, I beg your pardon, and
sir.
just say 1 or 2 words, final words of encouragement as we wrap up. Go ahead, speak to the viewer.
Thank you. What I can say to the viewer is that we know life is tough out there. We have all different challenges, more life thing, but we should never ever give up. As long as you can also do it. Sometimes it's about time, and let's all believe in the bigger powers out there. Support all the time. Let's not give up on ourselves. And when we have issues, let's talk to others so that we can on our own. Then we end up making wrong decisions. But otherwise, we should never ever give up. Let's keep on knocking on those doors. Otherwise, we got nothing to say and say. Thanks to Mogobe, Nuggets of Wisdom podcast for having invited me. I'm humbled. And this man is so humbled. So that's all I can say. Thank you so much.
Share with them all your handles and your contacts on social media and elsewhere.
Yes, and on social media, on Facebook, I'm Donald Dondada Noto. That's me. Then Kenos is Kenos Custom Suits. You can check it on Facebook and even all on Instagram. Then go Guesthousing. It's Main Street Guesthouse. It's also on our Facebook page. You can check it out. Then the Kenos Activewear. Lona Facebook, I think your name as well as Instagram is Kenos Activewear. Then the last one, which is the fitness Gym Life Fitness Club, we have that Facebook. So go like it and get to know more about it. And come and train with us. Come and check us. We always allow people to come in, even to just train for a day with us for free, just to experience the experience.
Is there a landline or a WhatsApp?
Yeah, we have when you go onto our Facebook pages, they will also show you that button that you click your WhatsApp, then you just go straight to us. So when you are there, you are set.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've been
Thank
wonderful.
you, sir. Thanks, sir.